fast-forwarded because we're fully in the postseason, guys. We got action last night. Steph Curry, the Warriors, they really turned back the clock. This was a vintage performance that we saw against the Clippers. And Tim had a little bit of a slow start. He only had 8 points, 2 of 9 shooting in that first half. He turned it way up here in the third. The handoff from Draymond, this is what he does. And he's counting them. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know that the swagger is coming out now. And then a few minutes later here, Curry, he uses the screen.
Look where he pulled up from. And it looks easy.
They call that Curry range. Ooh, gets John Collins on an island. Uh-oh.
Adam dancing.
Poured in 16 points in the third. The rest of the Warriors, they only had 14. Golden State still go down by 6 heading into the fourth quarter. And that set up for Al Horford time. I asked afterwards, did you eat your Wheaties? Because it sure looked like it. Al Horford in year 19. He wasn't on in the first 3 quarters. Yes, he was in the final frame. Less than a minute later here, the ball moving. This is the way we know Golden State to be. Al Horford relocates to the opposite corner, nails the 3. And then just over a minute to play, Golden State within 1. Horford, you can't leave that man alone. The Warriors take their first lead since the second quarter, thanks to Al Horford. Under a minute left here. It's all tied up at 117. Curry gets the handoff from Draymond Green. Oh, no. Hits the contested 3 over Brook Lopez. Another look at this. Steph Curry with the pass. And then he gets it back, hits the 3. He has a fan ask if it went in. Did it go in? Go in? Oh, yeah. Curry's fired up after that one. And that brings a big smile to Jimmy Butler's face right there. 50 seconds left here. Clippers down 3. Draymond Green with the steal. He was fantastic defensively in this game. Brandon Podziemski takes it the other way. Fouled. The bucket. It counts because of goaltending. Draymond Green, that defense, so key for Golden State. And then Mathurin with the goaltending goal. So the Warriors starting to feel it here. Next possession. This is more from Green, Tim. Leonard looks to drive, but Draymond pokes it the other way. Seals it for the Warriors. Green held Kawhi to just 1 of 6 shooting on the night. Here he was on his mindset defensively.
For me, I wanted to try to limit the amount of shots that he could get as opposed to thinking I'm going to stop every shot. With the efficiency that he plays with, that's stopping 10 more points. You know, if I can get him to take 3 or 4 less shots.
Defensive masterclass from Draymond Green. And the Warriors get the win 126-121. And that's after Golden State trailed by 13 with just under 10 minutes left. And then they went on to outscore the Clippers 41-23 the rest of the way. They made 8 of 10 threes in that span. That's like the Splash Brothers, right? They didn't commit a turnover, maybe more importantly, in that frame as well. So let's take a listen to Steph Curry, Steve Kerr. Pretty excited after this one.
This is why Steph came back. So everybody out there who thought Steph should have taken the rest of the year off, this is what he does. This is who he is.
We're not guaranteed a series yet, but these nights make everything worth it because you feel the anxiety of having to perform when the lights are bright, do or die game. Like I said, the last 2 days of preparation, trying to get our game plan right, got us really locked in on the moment. So considering how our season has gone and all the injuries and all that, for us to play the way we did tonight, it was special. I know we're not satisfied. We want to go to Phoenix and guarantee, you know, a playoff series against OKC. That's the next goal. But for us to lock in on just 48 minutes, figure it out, however we can, you know, get a win, knowing that the game was not going to be perfect, we were all pretty committed to that.
For one night, you know, we're us. We're champions again.
So, Shams, we were in the building for this one. This was the happiest that I have seen Steve Kerr in quite some time. For one night, we are champions again. I mean, he was elated. Yeah, Steph Curry went over that minute limit. He played 36. That's his most since he returned to the Warriors lineup. And, Shump, I know you've had the experience of Steph Curry postseason firsthand, but you told our producers that the Clippers, they made a strategic error, you thought, defending him. What did you see there?
Yeah, and especially me getting the chance to play under T. Lue. I watched a ton of film with knowing that Steph Curry is just nursing that right knee. To see him go left as much as he did was actually concerning if I'm looking at it from a standpoint of what the Clippers were doing in their game plan defensively against him. they didn't force his right leg to be his brakes. If you notice, everything he shot, he fell and made sure that most of his balance relied on his left leg. And I just expected them to make him shoot from the right side of the floor, where he would have to load and then as well as use the brakes on that right leg just to make sure that they have any type of chance and make sure that, you know, the release is not going to be as quick, because he would have to make sure he corrals, get his balance, and make sure it's a good shot every time. It was concerning to me. Everything that he did was going left. He was putting on the brakes to do a quick step back. It wasn't one of those hard step backs. It's like a quick side step to a step back, and I just thought that I would see more forcing him downhill to have to explode going left and then cutting that step off, cutting the step back off, and then getting him to the right side of the floor if he is going to raise for jump shots, to make sure that that right foot has to hit last and that he has that balance.
You know who's keying in on that? Phoenix right now is listening to Iman Shumpert and saying, oh, okay, let me just make sure we take some notes on that, right?
Dylan Brooks just like this.
Dylan Brooks is saying, yep, okay, understood the assignment right here for their next play-in game. But it wasn't just Steph, right? Steph was a huge part of being able to close this one out. But Draymond's defense on Kawhi Leonard, Kawhi even had high praise for him, called him a Hall of Famer. This is why he's a Hall of Famer after the game.
Yeah, these were the two pillars of the Warriors dynasty, giving us a glimpse of that greatness, reminding us of why they're going to be first ballot Hall of Famers. And I don't know, has there been a better defensive quarter played by anybody this season? I'm sure Wemby has the case, but as Kawhi said, it was hard to even get a shot up. I mean, Draymond just draping him all over the floor. Certainly one of the most versatile, dominant defenders that we've ever seen. This is a guy who can anchor a defense and who can say, hey, I'm taking the challenge of an elite scorer on ball. He's not going to be able to get shots up, and then coming up with the two huge steals down the stretch when the Warriors needed those stops the most.
And he was a little under the weather, right, Chums?
Yeah, vintage Draymond Green.
Right.
This was a defensive masterclass. But to me, what was even more impressive was team sources told me Draymond Green was sick. He was throwing up, puking all over the place in pregame. Sideline, in the back area by the locker room. And you could tell as the game was starting, his energy level looked a little low. But darn, that fourth quarter, especially those final 6 to 8 minutes of the game, I think he guarded, here's a stat from our ESPN Stats and Info group. He guarded Kawhi Leonard on 12 possessions in the fourth quarter. Not only did Kawhi Leonard not score, he didn't even get a shot off. And so you think about vintage Draymond Green, what he's known for. I mean, you have to give him his flowers. He was dominant. As dominant as we've seen him all season.
He certainly was, and the Golden State Warriors, this wasn't a championship, but this was the Golden State that we have grown accustomed to, maybe holding their AARP cards, but they still got it done, right? And then that turned into, what do we have a saying on this show? You stay petty so you don't got to get petty. Chris Paul, he lived up to that, because he posted this moments after the Clippers lost that play-in game. Iman, just too much or just enough?
I think it's just enough, man. I like Petty. I like Petty. This is best for the storyline. I saw that picture right before we started this. I got my shades on.
It gave me a chuckle. I actually texted him. I was like, come on, man. This is too good. All right, though, the playoffs, they're almost here. Last season ended in disappointment for the Cavs, but the stakes, they may be even higher this year. Hear from Donovan. And we also have our exclusive conversation with Victor Wembanyama. He reveals the piece of advice Hakeem gave him that he's applying this postseason. Plus, this season has been anything but magical for Orlando. I wanted to listen to the song more. I like it so much. But is there a chance they can break out of their dry spell? Well, they got one more shot when NBA Today returns.